You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. Welcome back to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. I'm your host, Brandy Williams. How are y'all doing this week? The last week ish of November already. I mean, this year really flew by. So this week, special. We'll be going over the transits per usual, but we're also going to do a refresher course on our annual holiday boundaries. I like to get on my soapbox during this particular week. It can be so emotionally and energetically charged for people. So I want to take this time to go over a couple of refreshers so we can strengthen that self-awareness muscle and take inspired action as we navigate out of some retrogrades, but also to open our toolboxes and sharpen the tools to navigate holidays and family expectations and family dynamics with grace, compassion, and personal policies. So let's get into it. Today, November 23rd, Sunday, which is when I'm recording this, we have the sun in Sagittarius, sextile Pluto in Aquarius at 1 degree and 45 minutes. This is tailgating the week ahead with some good old self awareness and goal planning or restructuring. We came off of a weekend where we were reflecting on certain responsibilities and the things that we take care of, how our discipline is set up. We could have been moving, reorganizing some things, or noticing what didn't feel aligned. And this is just kind of like the second part, or like the answer to what needs to be taken care of. And this could be us planning and then also putting into action some of those reorganizations and reprioritizations of certain responsibilities and commitments. So this week, with the holidays coming up, we're taking stock on the things we've been holding on to, grudges, clutter, certain things that we could be trying to eliminate to brighten up our space and get ready to host. We could also be reflecting and noticing on structures that we've been connected to, mindsets, habits, certain facades, certain entanglements or interactions with people that are not really aligned. It's no longer what we want to do. Some things we feel like we've outgrown, and we've been seeing the cracks in those things, but now they're starting to get bigger. And I feel like for a lot of us, there are systems and situations that we have outgrown, and they're starting to crumble. There are ways that we interact with people that are just no longer working for us. It's hard to pretend, it's hard to put on the happy go lucky mask. And some of us could really be attached to these people or these structures or these ways of interacting with people. And some of us is like, fuck that, let it burn. I'm not clearing shit up. I'm not clarifying nothing. Perhaps we've hit rock bottom with a situation or a person, and the only way out of it is to let it fall so that we can rebuild from the ruin. Something that we don't like or that we're brushing up against can really sharpen our senses of what we desire and what we really do like and what is really authentic to us. And this could pertain to any circumstance, business, friendships, relationships, family dynamics, money situations, just something, that we could experience this week is not feeling good. It's not aligned. We've outgrown it. Doesn't fit anymore. Could be pants. We could be outgrowing pants and saying, hey, I no longer want to keep these jeans because no, I don't fit them anymore. It could be a lot of things. This is a very healing transit too. But there's so much wisdom to learn when you are up against a limit or rock bottom. Rock bottom feels like shit. It feels horrible. Sending love and hugs to you if you feel like you're in a rock bottom situation right now, because I'm going to say this in a different perspective, but that is not to bypass how fucking horrible rock bottom feels when you feel like you don't know how you're going to get out this situation. But it's something about being in that place, being back against the wall, facing a destructive type of situation where it feels like the shit that we're attached to is not safe or stable, especially if it's finances, right? Or our own personal safety. There's something about being in destruction or rock bottom that enables us to become very creative and decisive about what we want. It's almost like our other senses tend to sharpen. And it is from the ruins that we see or we are scanning for a way out. And we can be very creative with escape plans, just like in movies and stuff like that. So it is because of the contrast. Now, let's say you're in a rock bottom situation, but it's not something that's like life or death, but maybe a relationship has outrun its course, or maybe you just don't want to do this certain thing anymore. You don't want to be at this certain job. You don't want to be in certain dynamics with family when you're in the presence of a dying situation. You get very clear on what you like and what your values are and how you want to be treated in the presence of being mistreated, undervalued, unseen, overworking, and underpaid in a certain job. When your back is against the wall in a situation, it enables you to see everything clearly because there's nothing behind you. You're scanning the room. And when you don't have anything else to lose, because you already at rock bottom, this is when you learn to fight. You learn to fight well. You learn to fight dirty. This is how you take your power back from something that overpowered you. So Pluto is that phoenix from the ashes type energy. It's very connected to the evolution and rebirth and transformation process, a lot like Scorpio. It's the modern day ruler of Scorpio. And this is us transforming, shedding. We're in the year of the snake. We're getting ready to go into the year of the horse. We are going to be taking action. Big things are gonna shake next year. I don't think it's gonna be as limbo-ish like it is this year. But before we get to that action year, we got to do some shedding. So this is us shedding. We're letting something fall, and perhaps, whatever we're witnessing in our lives that is falling right now is clarifying our life's quest and really sharpening our niche, sharpening the things that we want to do in business, how we want to spend money, how we want to be treated. And if another person can't treat us like that, we are we're sharpening the ways to treat ourselves, right? Because we've been in a contrast of being brutally mistreated and not considered. So, what is happening in your dreams this week? What clarifying, horrible, annoying, cringe thing is happening that is sharpening you in a certain type of way? Write these things down. What old identities, mindsets, stories, grudges, victim stories, what situation is no longer a good fit? We've outgrown this thing, and it could not even be beef. We think that tower moments have to be beef. Tower moments could just be like, I've been knowing you all my life, and suddenly it's like, we don't have anything in common anymore. We're outgrowing each other. There's nothing to talk about. This thing is just kind of falling. I'm tired of trying. I'm kind of like ready to let it fall, right? So those can be situations. This can also be businesses and groups and just little things that they're just not working anymore. So, what new ideas are we having? What is connected to something that could have been initiated or addressed in late August? This is when Pluto was out of bounds. It was deviated from the path of the sun, and it has now entered back into a course correction into the path of the sun. And so something is changing, ending, being manipulated in a certain type of way. What was happening in late August? What's happening now? What are your perspectives and how have they changed from August until now? And what personal policies would you like to rebuild from a crumbling situation? Monday, November 24th, Mars in Sagittarius is squaring the nodes of the moon. This is our energy and our action principle, how we assert ourselves, how we do things and get things done, and how we pursue the things that we want. So, Mars bending the node is reactivating some things from the eclipses from this year. So eclipses happened March 14th, March 29th, September 7th, September 21st. So in March and September, what was going on? What was happening? What type of endings and beginnings were taking place? This transit is going to reinitiate and reactivate something connected to that time. And this could be something personally. So what was happening then? What kind of things are going on? Were we getting stuck in perfectionism and staying on the sidelines until everything was perfect? Did we need to know the plan and the whole plan and all the steps, and we weren't taking a step until then? Were there old habits that needed to end, nitpicking or needing to control things, criticism stuff happening? And so this week we possibly are going to be faced with some of these old things or some of these things that were like a little played down and now they're kind of like the volume is up. And so, like, for instance, somebody's hosting Thanksgiving dinner, oh my God, or like the little pregame or something like that. And you got all of your decorations and your plans in order, but you need to know who's bringing what. I need the list, who's playing the Secret Santa after I got all the games set up, spiraling into anxiety. You might be having a burst of creativity as well, but there is an overanalyzing, overcommitting, over-serving situation. There could also be a situation where we are giving into something with poor boundaries, or we are having a victim story about something, or we are feeling like we're slipping back into some type of old habit. So we want to notice what's coming up. What creative things are coming up? What opportunities could be coming up? What creative ideas could be coming up that you want to pursue, but you don't actually know if you should because you don't know the whole plan or all the steps, but there's something singing to you in a certain way. Notice if there is another situation where you need to trust and have faith and walk with faith and not sight about something and move towards that thing. And notice if there is some type of nitpicking, overanalyzing, criticizing, judgmental situation going on as well. So that North Node in Pisces is asking you to surrender and to avoid escapism. Think about some things that may feel painful that's coming up, and can you be with that without trying to drink it away, smoke it away, sleep it away? Can you release control? Walk away from perfectionistic tendencies. Can you not stress about what everybody's going to wear and like matching and stuff? Let them kids be kids. Kids are not props. Kids are kids. They going to get something dirty on their shirt, okay? Leave them kids alone. Sorry, with love though. You don't have to try to be perfect with a bunch of imperfect ass people. God damn it, fuck them damn centerpieces. You told Bay you wasn't gonna spend that kind of money this year, okay? Everybody bleeds the same. So take care of your spiritual center the same way you take care of Big Mama's arm. The same way you concern yourself with everybody else's problems. Okay? Honor your own boundaries. And please, by all means, please don't let nobody or nothing bring you out of your peace or your sobriety this year. Okay? When the energy says leave, I'm gonna need y'all to leave this week. Okay, also on the 24th, Mercury retrograde conjuncts Venus in Scorpio. So the reflective mind is thinking about relationships and money and women and friendships and sisters and cousins and friends and business partners and all the things. We're also thinking about our energetic exchange and the energy that we give versus the energy that's being given back to us. We're also thinking about our values and our self worth. And for some of us, we could feel super passionate. We could feel sexy and sensual and clingy and wanting to be with our boo. And we could want to be with people. We could have amazing cousins and sisters coming into town, friends coming into town, and we could want to be connected to them and we just, want to be around them. And then we have some of us that could feel a little isolated and feeling low key and, we kind of laid back and we cool off people, right? We feeling a little mistrusting. We feeling a little icy about something. So some of us could be ruminating over past situations. Just what I should have said, this what I could have said. I should have not there. All of that stuff could be coming up. We could feel vulnerable. We just don't want to be around people, or we could just feel like we want to be in somebody's skin. Perhaps somebody's going to an extra therapy session this week or getting ahead of the triggers or just having a very deep talk with your therapy cousin or your bestie or your aunt who really just gets you and knows what to say and knows how to fill your cup back up. I know, which is beautiful, but some feelings to look out for with Mercury conjunct Venus could be feelings of jealousy and competitiveness, secret competitiveness, obsessive thinking, ruminating and brooding over situations, secret spending. Bay found your boxes in the trunk. He got us, y'all. There may be an ex trying to spin the block, or you could be doing the spinning. You could also be seeing the writings on the wall about something. You can see tensions brewing, and it's looking like a recipe for an end well type situation. And you can also be seeing something that you may have missed or overlooked in a project, in a person. Just in a previous conversation, we could be thinking about past conversations and past things, but we want to ultimately notice where we are giving too much of our power away this week. Notice and locate the energetic leaks, the enmeshment, the codependency, the forced commitments that are draining, the way that we have to brace ourselves to be around someone or to talk to someone. And notice if we are asking others for too much and, scoffing at their boundaries, feeling entitled, expecting things from people, silent expectations from people. No one can read your mind. You have to say what you want. I'm talking to myself because I do that so much. Are we emotionally bypassing people, people's feelings, people's boundaries? How are we verbally or non-verbally responding to people? Everyone can read between the shade. You just have to be brave enough to say the thing. You don't have to throw shade at people. And you might have to say it this week because maybe somebody is going to be like, listen, I'm sick and tired of that. And you might have to have a difficult conversation or a conversation about money. Past conversations could come up. So pay attention to the nervous system. The nervous system is sending you a message every time a person, a situation, a thing being said makes you feel deflated or drained or like the social battery is dying. Pay attention. Be in a position to drive. Get very familiar with Uber. Don't stay in situations that just suck the life out of you. Also, pay attention and notice the magnetic connections, the people who fill you up, the laughs, the people who make your heart swell. I mean, it's just filled with joy and happiness. Those are also messages. Follow the bliss. We want to also scrutinize any budget or spending we have this week. There is a lot of tendency to overspend this week in the cosmos. So we really want to look at that and negotiate or delegate duties that you feel like is out of your energetic budget and prioritize yourself. Be willing to come to a mutual agreement about something. By Wednesday, November 26th, we will have Venus entering the water trine. Venus is in Scorpio. She's going to trine Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So, first off, this is good things are happening. We could receive good news or news of a financial opportunity. This is a feel good transit for the most part. We could be in the presence of blessings and love and generosity. We see the people that we love so much that we grew up with. The nostalgia's on deck. The laughs are on deck. Old stories about when you did what. Just good times with family. There could be a lot of eating, duh, a lot of drinking, walks with cousins, a lot of shopping. Our asses off. And so with Venus trine Jupiter, this is Venus in Scorpio. So this is deep bonding and connection. So this is, our relationships with the people that we're close to and that we're connected to deeply, deep bonds. Trine Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, that's family dynamics. So with this transit, we will see easily an expansion of family, money, or relationship issues. One can be spilling over into the other, right? The money issues creating relationship issues, money issues tied to family relationships. Somebody owe you money, but now they got the Gucci belt on. Where my money at? Okay. This could be an increased tendency to people please and to overcommit and to spend more than we budgeted for and to give more than we energetically have the capacity to give. And this could just feel like it's happening out of nowhere. So there's this movie called The Manchurian Candidate. Have y'all seen that movie? If you haven't seen it, you should watch it this week if you're on vacation. I'll leave a clip of it in the show notes because I think I found a short on YouTube. And this movie has Denzel Washington, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they were soldiers and they were being programmed and hypnotized by the one soldier's senator mother, who is played by Meryl Streep. And I mean, this movie deals with like brain programming. And for some of us, so does the holidays, so does being back with family. There are family dynamics that have programmed us. And sometimes it could just be one word, one look, one gesture. And before we know it, we are in this energetic pattern. And even if we've already discovered the energetic chip and you already know what I'm talking about and you notice the programming, you've been programmed before we know it, we could be in that space where somebody does something or say something. And next thing you know, we are locked into this way of being when we're around our family or around people that we love and cherish and we used to depend on to survive. There's still these attachment styles to certain people. They have the power to activate us. And so this hidden family programming can definitely be exacerbated this week. But the great news about it is Venus and Scorpio is going to also trine Saturn retrograde in Pisces. And Saturn went back to Pisces to clear up some boundary issues, addiction issues, escapism issues, and some spiritual, emotional type of issues that we weren't seeing. And we are seeing things with more wisdom right now. And so this is a very beautiful self-awareness and grounding and stabilizing overdoing something with Venus trying to Jupiter. Saturn is going to show us where we need discernment, where we need boundaries in a situation or relationship. So Saturn this week is going to be acting like the little cricket on Pinocchio. Is it Jiminy Cricket? Whatever. He's going to be reminding us about our finances and our pleasure and our values and our relationships. And so little Jiminy Cricket going to ask us, hey, you going to eat another plate of that? Okay. Another drink? Okay, now you know your boundaries. tend to collapse when you drink too much or you smoke too much. And then you had a tendency to abandon your values and your self worth. Girl, go look in the mirror. Now, did you just put on that super saver person who refuses to say themselves cape back on? You got that cape back on. Who finna buy all them Christmas gifts? You? I thought you said we were saving this year and writing letters of what we love about people and mailing them. That's what Jiminy gonna say. Notice, but please don't beat yourself up. You've been dealing with some stuff for 30, 40, 50, 60 years if you're listening to this. It's not gonna take 3 podcasts and a self-help book to undo some of these deeply embedded, repressed shadow situations. Please don't. Just notice if you are being sucked into family politics, into drama, if you are being manipulated in some type of triangulating situation, and ask yourself, is this mine? Is this my anxiety? Is this my stress? Is this my problem to fix? Is this mine to carry? Is this mine to figure out? Is your help even helping? Because it look like they going to do what they always do. Once again, every year, same thing. This time, the only thing that's changed is you. You've been noticing. So notice if you are in a situation and you feel drained dry, your nervous system just taxed, social battery on deflate. It's blinking, baby. Notice if you need to fix another drink to be around still, or you need to eat a second slice of cake to cope with something. Those are messages. Those are indications that you are not in your alignment. So if you happen to look up and find yourself activated in some old programming, the beautiful part about this is that you are in a spiral. And so you are not doing something over again. You are doing something with more wisdom. And the fact that you know you're being programmed is the T. That is what you need to be thankful for. Thankful that I know I'm being played right now, and understand that Rome wasn't built in a day, and you are not going to get that thing right every time. It depends on how the moon is hitting you. It depends on what your own personal transits. You can have some Neptune stuff going on. You can feel a little bit more compassionate and a little bit more boundaryless, and it's totally fine. The beautiful part of this is that you noticed. So, can you set it down? Put somebody else's drama down. Put down what's not yours. Set yourself free from a situation. Can you not care about what people says when you leave early? Drive. Please drive responsibly though. Don't be drinking and driving, okay? Get you an Uber. Um yeah, when you catch yourself in something, just notice. And if you choose to go along with something, don't beat yourself up. It's okay you noticed, right? Just try not to project that onto somebody else and make it somebody else's responsibility for your boundaries that you said no or that you said yes. It's your choice. We grown. You made an empowered choice to say yes. That's your responsibility. You're not gonna blame nobody else and say how they should have known better and they just keep doing this to you and keep doing that to you. You keep doing that to you. Okay? With love. You choose to do that. You can make a choice. You just don't like the consequences that come with taking up for yourself. And I'm right there with you. But yeah, just notice and avoid the emotional walls and avoid just not being around people to stop yourself from doing something, because those self-awareness and boundary muscles, they need to be exercised. You got to work them out. And that means you have to be in the presence of people who might test those boundaries. So on the day of giving thanks, Thursday, November 27th, Saturn's going to turn direct that night. Saturn went back in Pisces to fix something, to release something, to end something. So if you work with your chart, notice what part of your life is Pisces working through right now. There could be an ending. There could be, something that is needing to be released, something that is parting with us. This is a karmic ending because Saturn is turning direct. And so something is moving forward, and Saturn has done his job, and now he's going to move back into Aries soon. And then by Saturday, November 29th, Mercury's going to turn direct. So this is the cosmic green light to start something new and to take action, take baby steps, sign a contract, initiate a well thought out purchase. So perhaps if you had something in the works and you kind of tabled it for a while, you may revisit this, and it should work out well. Mercury is still in his shadow period for the next 2 weeks, but it's Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius and Scorpio. So, this is a time where we probably want to move forward and take action with something. Also, November 29th, Venus in Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Now, this can show up anytime this week, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are going to feel this transit before Saturday, but some people might feel it on Saturday still. People getting ready to say goodbye, having another kickback, and there's a situation that pops off. So when we're talking about Scorpio and Taurus, we are talking about resources, what I give versus what I earn. This is money situation, security, financial and emotional resources, our stability. Some of the things that we can experience with this transit is going to be a feeling of instant connections with people. He just made me feel so safe. It might be your cousin friend, and it could be like a love at first sight situation where there's fireworks between two people. But, usually when Venus opposes Uranus, a lot of times it's kind of like fling like and short lived, but the astrology don't get to determine what is in the stars and what's meant for you. You might could meet your forever this week, okay? But we can also expect volatile, explosive outbursts and conflicts between people, especially women. This could be surprising and left field out the blue. We could get into it with our cousins, sisters. So we just want to be mindful of that. This can also be surprising and unexpected news about something. This could be some type of situation that has to do with money, property, our financial security, situations that could be happening in the workforce. This could be a beautiful, exciting opportunity, but it's destabilizing because now what? Now we have to reshape our whole lives. Perhaps this is the opportunity to travel or do something like that. Something that's just surprising, but that's great for us because Uranus is a wild card, so we don't really know what to expect. Could go either way. But there could be also some disruptive tension, arguments, confrontations, political stuff and arguments, in families or freaking spades game went left. Beware of impulse shopping with Uranus opposing Venus like this. Beware of dopamine shopping, impulse shopping. Next thing you know, you forgot you got bills coming out and you done did all this Black Friday shopping. We supposed to be canceling Christmas, all right? They got to treat us better before we spend all our money on these people. Okay, but I know we still got to buy for the babies, but just want to be careful of just overdoing it, overspending. Beware of that, and look out for more shocking with the quotation mark secrets to be exposed. Okay, I mean it's been all year, but okay, maybe something else will make our jaws drop. Yeah, so that's all the astrology for the week. Let me just go over some motivational stuff. Okay. This week, we are still in several processes. That means we still have planets in retrograde and we still are reviewing parts of our lives, reviewing these dynamics with family and ancestry and stuff from the past. And we're also in process to move forward and to take action, small, responsible, disciplined action, no hasty decisions. Notice the dread and the cringe this week. Notice the people, conversations, places that feel magnetic and that feel amazing. Let yourself be sharpened by those messages in the nervous system. Be very aware of your personal policies. Create your personal policies and what you stand for and stand on before you interact with the people so you can know what you stand for so you won't be falling for anything. And then honor them by speaking your truth. It doesn't have to be a rude truth. If you have some issues with the throat chakra, get yourself a lapis lazuli crystal. It's a blue crystal. You can find it at any holistic crystal shop. That clears the throat chakra. It helps you speak responsibly and it helps you speak courageously. If you are feeling like you're around people who are not great for your spirit and you decide you want to go anyway, get yourself some black tourmaline, moonstone, tiger's eye, spiritual protection. Put it in your pocket. You don't got to wear it on a necklace around your neck. Put it in your pocket, put it in your purse. Protect yourself. You have your own personal sovereignty. Pray over your children, pray over yourself. We want to honor our own policies and our boundaries by not diluting them with substances that deactivate our sovereignty. In other words, avoid getting drunk out of your mind, getting so high that you don't remember the policy and getting so people pleasy, that you are activated out of your sovereignty because this is how people play in our faces and then we wake up with a very big pile of regret and resentment that we add to the pile that we already have. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Okay. We want to be mindful of our actions, be mindful of our energy, and accept responsibility for our yeses and our nos. We are grown. We are not being, I don't think, right? Some of us, I mean, if you are being violated and controlled against your will, financially manipulated by people, I mean, this is not for you. This is not for people who are in danger. If you are just afraid of the consequences and ramifications saying no, you must take accountability and responsibility for your yeses and your nos, because there is no one forcing you to say yes. And no, you're grown. You just don't want to deal with the consequences and the feelings of abandonment and rejection by saying yes or no. And that's no judgment, but you just want to understand that that's not another person's fault. It's your responsibility to honor your own boundaries, not to place rules and expectations on other people. Lastly, release perfectionism and trust a new path that could be unfolding. Trust what wants to walk away, what wants to run away, what wants to break, what wants to leave you. Let something leave you so that something more aligned can be in place, right? We ain't keeping nothing that don't want to be kept this year, okay? Because next year we need to be all aligned and we need to be in our soul vibration, soul tribe, soul mate, soul relationships. We want everything that accepts us just the way we accept everything else, okay? Take all the astrology you need this week. Take it all that resonates and leave the rest. Don't shoot the messenger. I love everyone who is listening to this podcast, and I love your mama too. And I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your listening ear every week. Please take care of yourself. Please be safe. Come back to me and listen next week. I'm praying for everyone. I love you. Thankful. See y'all next week. Happy holidays. Bye. You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast.